So more donations are just flying in here. Wanted to put my money towards Bone Mom. Hashtag Bone Mom, LOL. Bone Mom, hail Satan.
Whoa.
What the Franker Z did you just say about me, you little Franker Z? This is for Bone Mom.
Once again, we are back.
Woo!
Woo. Hello.
Yeah, welcome back to JRTA4. Now we have Twilight Princess by Hakua. And with respect to the donation for file name, or specifically Link's name and Epina's name, Link's name will be Nug Rider.
Okay.
Perfect. And Epina's name will be Nugs, with a commanding lead of $69.69.
Oh man, the 69.69. I wouldn't want to ride any other horse. Except for that one.
Same.
Me neither.
I love this.
Alright, Nug Rider, perfect. 8 characters. Nugs with a Z.
Yeah. Nugs with a Z. That's the important part.
Oops. Okay. Alright, well, I'm all ready when you guys are. So, the names are in, so I'm good to go.
Okay.
Shall I give a countdown, or you can just...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, give it to me.
Right.
Give it to me, BJW.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, Nugs.
Nugs, dude. Alright, guys, what's up? I'm Hakua, and this is Twilight Princess, all Fused Shadows. It's a miscellaneous category, so you probably don't know what it is. And if you haven't played CP in a long time, you probably don't even know what the heck fused shadows are. So basically, the first half of Twilight Princess, you need to collect the fused shadow pieces. And these come from the first 3 dungeons in the game, 1, 2, and 3. Forest Temple, Goron Mines, and Lakebed Temple. So this is essentially a sort of like child dungeons in Ocarina of Time, sort of like comparison, except for Twilight Princess. So I'm going to be completing the first 3 dungeons. It's a halfway category. So the first trick I do here is this rock allows me to get out of bounds, and from here I'm going to roll to the end of the bridge and do a trick called Back in Time. This trick is frame perfect, however there's a setup that allows me to get the frame every time, which I did just there. And now I am on the title screen, and this is Back in Time, which, contrary to its name, actually goes forward in time. This actually sets the state forward. So after jumping off a bridge, I'm going to save warp here. And when I reload this save file, I will now be in I will now be in a future state of the game with a trick called Back in Time. So
And
now
Link's
I'm in
name is
Fahrenheit.
back to Link.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So when you perform Back in Time, it's a save file sort of manipulation glitch. So it doesn't know what to do, so it resets it to the default. So unfortunately, we're back to the default. But don't worry, for the continuance of this run, I will continue to call Link Nug Rider and Epona Nugs.
Thank you for your dedication.
Alright, so since I'm in a future state, I have gone beyond. And now you can see I have the full green garb, I have the Ordon sword, and also the Ordon shield, which, you know, I didn't have before, but thanks to Back in Time, which actually goes forward in time, and now I have all this stuff. And on top of that, my trusty steed, Nugs, has also been tamed, which normally you're supposed to tame Nugs in a later part of the run, but now Nugs has already been tamed. Faithful servant Nugs. So, this part of the game, there isn't much to it. I'm just going to be rolling across Farron to save Talo. So at the beginning of the game, Talo is an idiot. He's one of the little kids at the beginning of Twilight Princess, and he's an idiot, and he goes out to the woods and gets kidnapped by a bunch of bokoblins. So now I have to go save him. Stupid kids going out into the dangers of Farron Woods. How could they? And I'm gonna get this small key here to open a gate. Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of rolling in this category. Believe it or not, rolling is faster than just running. And, so, it's gonna be a lot of rolling. And here is this gate. Unlike the first gate in the game that I sort of clipped through with the rock, you can't actually clip through this gate. We've tried for a long time, so gotta get that small key. Alright, so rolling up here is my good pal, Talo, who Nug Rider will save. I guess one thing I should note, in the normal any percent category of this game, you don't actually need to beat all the dungeons in the game. So in any percent, you actually skip Goron Mines, which is the second dungeon of the game, but since this is all fused shadows, I have to do Goron Mines. And thus, Talo has been saved. Monkey. Alright. And, you know, since I do have to go to Goron Mines, and I don't need to go to the later dungeons, there's going to be a lot of actually exclusive tricks to this category. So if you've seen any percent before, but have never seen all fused shadows before, then you're going to see some nice exclusive tricks. Yeah. Alright, so here is the infamous goats, which I'm sure everybody knows who's ever seen a Twilight Princess run. After you save Talo, your final day in Ordon, you have to go and herd up all of these goats. And these goats are quite infamous for being slightly RNG, but not really. Where, like, if you do proper movement, they shouldn't be a problem, but since they have, like, the tiniest amount of RNG, like, they can really screw you over and go everywhere. So hopefully that doesn't happen. So a really good time is, like, sub 20 goats. A decent time is, like, anything under 30 seconds. So there you go. That was actually some decent goats. 22 seconds right there.
Nice job, Nug Rider.
Solid. Yeah, the Nug Rider is quite efficient at controlling Nugs, as you can see. Alright, so I mentioned earlier that Back in Time advances the state of the game. This includes Ordon Village, so normally you can't get the iron boots. So normally you get the iron boots here in Ordon Village from the mayor of Ordon, Bo, which you normally can't get until after you clear the first dungeon. Obviously I haven't done that yet, but since I did Back in Time, the state of Ordon Village is so far forward that I can actually go in, talk to Bo a couple of times, and get the iron boots. And you'll see me talking to Bo a lot here because the text boxes are actually kind of broken because of the advanced state of Ordon. So I'm just gonna keep talking to him until he lets me play his minigame. Alright, so here's another really fun, heavy RNG portion of the run. This is wrestling with our good pal Bo. So this is completely RNG. Best case scenario is I get a slap in and I can mash at 12 hertz or greater to one cycle Bo. Unfortunately he did a dodge, so I will not— oh man, the double dodge! So no one cycle here. So the faster you mash, the better. To get a one cycle on Bo, you need to mash at least 12 hertz, and otherwise it's going to be a 2 cycle at best. And the first round is kind of just like, I'm just testing you, Nug Rider. Second round is the real deal. Oh, and I got perfect RNG. There you go. So that's the one cycle. The sidestep into the slap into the mashing off. So that was actually not bad. And after that, we get the iron boots. Alright, so normally after you complete goats, what you can do here is just exit town and then go visit Ilia. And when you visit Ilia, King Bulblin comes in and like kidnaps her and Colin and like runs havoc on Ordon. So that is the first step in the story. Also, you get thrown into Twilight and become a wolf, like, you know, the early game stuff if you remember any of the story, which is what I'm gonna progress towards. The only advantage between this and just playing the game through casually is that I now have the iron boots, which you normally wouldn't have, which will be used a lot in this run. They're actually quite useful to skip a lot of areas. Oh, you can mash C up and down here. It's pretty funny. Alright. So unfortunately I'm going to skip this cutscene so you can't see King Bulblin come through. But now we have been thrown into jail. Here I am in jail. Poor wolf. Poor Nug Rider. Thrown into jail, and now he's a wolf. Doesn't know what to do.
Nug dog.
Nug dog, dude. And this strange imp lady tells you to come out, and now she's gonna mount us. So I guess Midna is actually the Nug Rider. The Nug Rider, I should say.
And the roles have been swapped.
The roles have been swapped. So
is he really a wolf right now, or is this like the result of the Nugs?
What do you mean?
Maybe Link's like just sleeping right now or something.
Yeah, maybe he had one too many nugs, dude.
Yeah.
He's got tired from, you know, food coma or something. Oh, so you're gonna see something funny here. If you look closely at Link's, Nug Rider's back, you can see I still have the Ordon Sword and Shield on my back, which normally I'm not supposed to have. So Nug Rider is actually clipping through the Sword and Shields on Nug Rider's back, which is a funny side effect of doing back in time. So nothing too special going through the sewers here. I'm just gonna solve this puzzle, which I can solve really quickly because it's, you know, the same. Just opening some gates, changing the water levels.
Is there time for a quick donation?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, we've got $30 from Andy, who just ran Bubble Bobble.
Nice.
And he says, thanks everyone for an amazingly successful marathon. Mario Party 3, please. And that puts Mario Party 3 at $715.89, trailing behind Mario Party 2 by about $300, which currently stands at $1,028.99. So definitely get your donations in now while you still can. I believe this will be closed off in the next, like, 3 or 4 hours.
I'm a Mario Party 3 boy myself, so gonna have to go with Mario Party 3.
Yeah, we'll close that off at the end of Dragon Quest, by the way.
Yep.
These tight ropes here in the spiral staircase roomy here are really finicky, and you can easily miss them. They don't work sometimes. Sometimes you get like magically attached to ropes that you don't mean to. They're a mess. And the best part is they are not fixed in TPHD, so they're still kind of broken. I should talk a few things about TPHD. One of the major differences between SD and HD, this is on the GameCube, so it's SD, is that early Master Sword, which is a central glitch in all of TP speedrunning, is actually patched in the TPHD version. It's an interesting thing to note. Alright, so coming up here, I'm going to be performing one of the hardest tricks in the game, and most new runners to Twilight Princess are actually so, like, they struggle so badly with this trick that they end up not running the game. So this is like the sort of wall that you have to cross, and it's only 15 minutes into the run, so like it's pretty demoralizing for a new runner. This is the infamous sword and shield skip. And so the reason why it is called Sword and Shield Skip is that I'm skipping the Ordon Sword and Shield. So normally at this part of the game, I go into Ordon and get the Sword and Shield. However, since I did back in time, I already have the Sword and Shield, and furthermore, the game state believes I already have the Sword and Shield, so I can't actually get it. So this is actually a soft lock if it weren't for this Bulblin right here. So I'm going to lure this Bulblin over to the other side of this area, and at the end of this area there's actually a midna trigger. Oh, whoops, I went too far. Right,
He smells the nugs.
yeah.
Oh.
So at the end of this bridge on the other side, I normally would enter Farron Twilight, but there is a trigger on the ground where Minna's like, hey, you need to go get the sword and shield, which I physically can't do. So I'm going to drag this Bulblin over, do a precise setup, and this guy's RNG and annoying, but I'm trying to get him in a specific spot so that I can perform a double jump attack that will allow me to jump over this midna trigger that normally prevents you from progressing. So hopefully I get it first try, but it's quite precise, so I may not. Okay, there we go. So that's Sword and Shield Skip. So to explain it further, there is a ground trigger where Midna says you need to go back and get the Sword and Shield. However, there is an aerial trigger above it where Midna's like, do you want to enter the Twilight? So doing that precise jump attack allows me to land into the aerial trigger, and that allows me to get into Farron Twilight early. So here we are, Farron Twilight. I'm gonna actually be clearing Farron Twilight. So normally in any percent, you don't need to clear Farron Twilight, because you can skip Farron and also the dungeon. But there are some interesting reasons why I'll be clearing the Twilight here, which I'll get to later. So here is a scripted fight where you will fail, always. And this is sort of the tutorial where Minna teaches you how to do the Minna charge. So I can kill these Twilight messengers with the Minna charge. And as Wolf Link, you can only kill the messengers with the Minna charge. As Human Link, you can kill them with the spin attack. So, just an interesting thing to note. Alright, so let me grab the Farron vessel here. So here we're going to start diverging from the 90% route a little bit. Gets a little interesting here. A little fun thing here, you can close this menu with the map button, because it's actually a map. And it's actually faster to close the map menu with your map button, which is the D-pad, than it is to just scroll through the text, because that's kind of slow. So one thing you're going to notice is that I'm killing some of these bugs, but I didn't collect the tears. Oh, whoops. Nice. Nice Scarecrow. And the reason for that is I'm going to be revisiting this area, so I don't need to collect the tears right now. And the tears have a sort of like period where they're slowly floating down from the air, so I can't actually get them right away. These two bugs are inside, so I'm not going to revisit this inner area, so I'm just going to collect these tears now. One thing to note here is that I turned off my senses after killing the bugs, like right before I killed the bugs. And in doing that, it actually skips the text from Koro, who's scared of the bugs inside the house. He has like a little bit of dialogue where he's like, oh, where did the bugs go? Someone killed the bugs for me. So turning off your senses basically just mutes him, so you don't actually see that text. Saves a little bit of time. These bugs here are a little RNG. If I get lucky, like that, yeah, that's pretty good. So one thing I was trying to be careful there is I didn't want to enter this loading zone before I heard the bugs explode. Otherwise, they don't actually die. Now here's a little shortcut tunnel here, which people don't really know in their casual playthrough. It's a bit faster than going through this tunnel. Nothing too special here. Same sort of deal, killing these bugs, but not collecting the tears, because I'm going to be coming back here later. Okay. Pretty much all these bugs I'm going to come back for later. So, just kill them and then leave the tears so they can slowly float down. This tree trunk is a little tricky. Okay.
All this precise platforming.
Yeah, which is guided by Nug Rider Rider. Alright, so these two bugs I don't actually get because they dig into the ground from the cutscene. The second time I come around here, the cutscene doesn't play, so I can actually kill them before they dig into the ground. Alright, so here is early Master Sword. It's a trick where I'm manipulating more enemies to do things. Here I'm going to get this Shadow Beast over here. I'm going to do a Midna charge. Oh, bad RNG. Okay, second try. First try was bad RNG, but using a Midna charge I can actually get a super jump off of this messenger's attack animation and get out of bounds, and from here I'm entering the Sacred Grove.
Easy game.
Yeah, and the Sacred Grove is actually where you can get the Master Sword. So in the TPHD version of the game, they added a bunch of invisible walls there, which is why EMS is impossible on HD. Do a little howling here. From here, it's just pretty straightforward stuff. I'm gonna go through Lost Woods, Sacred Grove, and beat up Skull Kid. And after that, I can get the Master Sword. Right? Question mark? I'll get to that. But for now, just a lot of running around through Sacred Grove. Nothing really to say here, so if you want to mention anything, feel free.
Well, there's no new donations to talk about, but I do want to mention that this is the final game in the block where if you donate at least $5, you are entered in the raffle to win, I believe it's Kirby Superstar? A cart of Kirby Superstar. So, you know, if that's something that interests you, definitely get your donations in now. And with respect to donation wars, there still is the Mario Party 2 versus 3 bid war. And in addition to that, Best Anime is still a thing too, so, you know, do you guys want King of the Hill to win Best Anime? Right now it's in the lead with $216. Or maybe you want Inferno Cop, Hamtaro, Dark Terex. We've got Cardcaptor Sakura in there. Cory in the House. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, pretty good anime there. Good selection.
Yeah. Big fan of Cory in the House.
Yeah. Alright, so if you do a B attack on the final hit here, you can actually land on the ground instead of up top. Saves a little bit of time, obviously, so you don't have to like jump down later. The jump down happens during this sort of animation where he's like, "You hit me!" Rude. Alright, so here's the Skull Kid fight. Oh my god. Okay. My camera got a little disorientated there. So I actually only want to kill one of these puppets at a time. The more puppets I kill, there's more lag frames, and it also like resets the timer a little bit, where Skull Kid becomes vulnerable. But otherwise, there's nothing too special about the Skull Kid fight. Normally after the Skull Kid fight, I would be getting the Master Sword in any other category. But in this category, I am not, because who needs the Master Sword? The reason why I'm not getting the Master Sword, in all seriousness, is that if I obtain the Master Sword, it actually locks me out of Goron Mines until I get the spinner. But the spinner is all the way in Arbiter's Grounds, and in this category, you only need to beat the first 3 dungeons. So beating Arbiter's Grounds will be much slower. So I'm just going to save warp after beating Skull Kid. This allows me to get to the Master Sword later, which I'm going to go to after I clear Goron Mines, so I won't be locked out of Goron Mines. And so from here, I need to get back to the beginning of Farron Woods. There actually isn't a way to get there. You cannot warp until, I believe, you obtain more than 1 portal. I think you need to obtain the north portal, but I haven't obtained that because I haven't beaten them. So I'm just gonna jump in game over. I don't know. So I'm just gonna game over here. Totally intentional. I'm totally not just bad at this video game.
The death of Nug Rider.
The death of Nug Rider. To kill a Nug Rider.
So, what got you interested in this category?
Haha. So, there's a reason why I'm interested in this category. It's because of some of the exclusive glitches in this category. Which, I mean, I don't want to spoil it because it's a pretty cool trick. But there's one really massive out-of-bounds glitch, which is really cool. And it's exclusive to categories that don't go beyond Lake Bed. So this is one of the only categories that doesn't go past Lake Bed. So basically any category that needs to clear Goron Mines, but also needs to get the Master Sword. There's this sort of cool glitch, but I'll save that for later when I get there. For now, I'm just going to continue to collect the tears. And now I'm actually going to finish Fair and Twilight. Unfortunately, all of these bugs I killed earlier, so I can just continue to dash through this area and collect all the tears instead. Alright, so up at the end here, there are 2 bugs I didn't kill earlier because of the digging animation. which prevents you from getting them beforehand, like quickly. So I'm gonna kill them before they dig here. Oh, behind this sign there's a dig spot here. There's always a yellow rupee here. Little fun fact.
So Kuro in chat has an important question. Are there any Howling Stones in this run?
There's one Howling Stone. It's Intersacred Grove, which I already held at.
No. Alright.
Other than that, there's
I got
no
my
Howling
Awu
Stone.
in, so...
Yeah. Oh. Sadly, there are no other Howling Stones in this category. But don't worry. When the so recently, Twilight Princess has created a category extensions leaderboard, which is basically like the meme categories, and I plan on routing all hidden skills, which I'm gonna be getting every Howling Stone in the game, so that should be a good category for you. Oops.
I'm gonna run that. All Howling Stones.
All Howling Stones, pretty much. Oh, there's a 1-frame backflip here that skips Minitex. Let's see if I can get it. Nope, I'm bad. Did not get it. It actually saves like 3 or 4 seconds. It's pretty big. So I'm gonna reload, save warp here to get back to the starting area of Farron Woods. And from here, I'm going to be doing back in time again. So there's a reason for this back in time, and it is because when you fight a boss, it has this sort of flag called boss flag, which is what we call it. And boss flag is a number that is like a pretty big number, and it counts down to 0 when you enter a boss room. I'm going to be setting boss flag to a high value here. And to do that, I'm going to do back in time in order to get into this King Bulblin fight. And then I'm going to reset during the King Bulblin fight. So the King Bulblin fight started, it sets like the boss flag value to a high number. But since I stopped to reset before the entire animation of the boss, I managed to store the value at... It's generally above 20, so let's say it's 20 or so. So the boss flag value is like 20 plus right now, even though it's normally supposed to be 0. So that's basically what I just did right there. It's a little confusing. So from here, I'm just going to roll on and enter the first dungeon of the game, Forest Temple. And you'll see why I set boss flag to a high number. Right now, it's kind of strange why I would do that. Oh, whoops. Oops. Put my lantern away. Oh. Nice sign. Nice bonk.
Impossible game.
Good movement coming from here. Alright, so... This is one of every Twilight Princess runner's favorite parts of the game. This is called monkey pushing, because our good pal Monkey that we saved earlier is going to be showing up here, and he's going to steal our lantern and use it to get through the purple mist. So right here, I'm just going to have to just follow this monkey around, and it is really slow, and I'm sure everybody loves it.
Sounds like a great time for a donation.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so we've got $25 here from Jamblar, and says, awesome job as always. So let me know in chat if you want to put that towards an incentive. Either like Mario Party 2 or 3 or Best Anime. Best Anime.
So you can see, you can kind of slowly push the monkey a little bit if you walk into it. So this is why it's called monkey pushing. If you push the monkey well enough, you can actually skip a cycle. I've never ever managed to do that because pushing the monkey sucks. But yeah, I just try to do it anyway, even though I've never gotten it. Get your data faces in, I suppose. This little monkey. There's a lot of grass here, so I'm actually trying to farm some rupees. I need to buy the bomb bag later, and the bomb bag costs 120 rupees, so that's why I'm trying to farm a little bit of rupees here. Normally try to get like like 20 rupees around here. 20 is a good number. I like it's 18 right now. Okay, perfect.
When are you gonna find the skip for this?
Normally you could skip it if you have the Master Sword, but because this category does not allow you to get the Master Sword, I have to do it. That's the sad part. So that's the trade-off. Yeah, because normally if you have the Master Sword, I would just be able to warp, because I would transform to Wolf Link and just warp away, and I would warp to North Farron, which is beyond this part of the game. But since I can't transform to Wolf, I can't warp, so I have to just go through this area slowly. And the monkey is rude AF because after this section, he also completely empties our lantern oil, and actually need lantern oil for like the first dungeon, so I have to refill my lantern oil. So here I am. Fortunately, I can, instead of buying lantern oil, I can actually steal the lantern oil, like the speedrunner scum I am. So I'm gonna do that over here by Trill's oil shop. Oops. Oops. And coming up here is the first hidden skill of the game. This is Ending Blow. It's actually possible to skip this Ending Blow by transforming to Wolf, because Golden Wolves do not interact with Wolf Nugrider, so you can actually skip this hidden skill, but again, I cannot transform to Wolf, so I have to just get it. Funny thing is that you actually need Ending Blow to complete the game. On the final fight, Ganondorf, you need the Ending Blow. If you do not have Ending Blow, you actually have no way to beat Ganon, which is really funny. And you can actually lose runs to forgetting to get the Ending Blow and not being able to kill Ganon. But, you know, this is all Fused Shadows, so we don't even need to fight Ganon at all. So, for this category, it's just a waste of time. But unfortunately, I can't get around this.
This is like the most violent attack in the Zelda series.
Yeah, the Ending Blow.
Yeah. I feel bad for Ganondorf at the end.
I know, right? You have to have the Ending Blow, otherwise you can't beat the big bad boss, you know? Gotta have it. That's the only hidden skill that is required. All the other hidden skills in this game are optional. And normally there's no way to skip the Ending Blow casually. But, you know, in a speedrun, you can use glitches to bypass it. Alright, so here we are in the first dungeon. This is the Forest Temple. So normally in Forest Temple, if you can remember from your days of playing Twilight Princess, you need to save a bunch of monkeys. A grand total of, I think, like 7 or 8 monkeys or something like that. Fortunately, monkeys are actually tied with the boss flag value for some reason. So since I set the boss flag value to 20, the game assumes I have the first 4 monkeys already. Oh, and normally you can use the slingshot to take out these spiders, but since I used back in time and I skipped obtaining the slingshot, I can't actually obtain the slingshot, so I have to use these Deku Nuts. And these spiders are a little bit of RNG, so if those Deku Nuts miss, it's really unfortunate, and depending on how bad my RNG is, I may have to exit the dungeon and re-enter so I can get a second try at throwing Deku Nuts at the spiders. So you can see here, I only saved one monkey, but because of boss flag, the game thinks I have all the monkeys to cross this area, which is 4. I'm also going to jump off this bridge. The reason why I jump off this bridge is for another reason later, but we'll get to that. And now I'm just going to cross over. So this is actually the shortcut to get to the mini-boss of this dungeon. Normally you have to go a complete different way, but since boss flag was set, the game thinks I've already went to this place and like sort of game over to the mini-boss or something, so it allows me to take this shortcut route to get to the mini-boss. So here's the mini-boss of the dungeon, Ook. Another monkey, a big boy monkey, very large. He's RNG by how many times he hops on the pillars is completely RNG. Best case scenario is 2. Oh, whoops. I believe he can hop indefinitely if I get really bad luck. 3, 4. Okay. 4 is pretty average.
It's a very unfortunate weak spot.
It is quite the unfortunate weak spot. It's very red too. I think he's sort of got a rash or chafing there, so I apologize to the big monkey that we would have to abuse this fact. Goodbye, monkey. Irregular monkey fetish. Alright, so now I've obtained the boomerang, and I think most people would agree that the boomerang is the most broken item in the game for Twilight Princess, so now that I have the boomerang, it's time to go do stuff. A lot of stuff. But first, I'm going to set up some stuff for later. So normally you would imagine that I would just now finish the Forest Temple because the category is All Fused Shadows, and therefore I need to complete the Forest Temple, but it's actually faster to go and complete the dungeon later. As opposed to now. So I'm not actually going to finish the dungeon at this point in time. I'm going to finish it later on. In order to finish this dungeon later on, I'm just going to get Uku, our trusty chicken. And this chicken allows us to warp out of dungeons and warp back into them. So that's what I'm going to be doing over here. Uku.
These things are so ugly.
Man bird. Alright, so here is a little trick. Oh, actually, I don't need to do this now, but I'm going to do this now. I'm gonna get the boss key. Oops. Actually, I think it's fine to get this key now. So now I have the boss key. And I'm just going to enter the next room, and after that I'm going to warp out. Hopefully I don't get hit by the spider here. Okay. The spider can be tricky. Okay. So now that I've done all that stuff, I'm going to warp out using Uku. Nice little Uku dialogue. We get to meet Uku Jr., Uku's daughter, son. I forget which one. One of those two. And now I am going to roll all the way back to the beginning of Farron Woods. So from this point, I need a route to get to Goron Mines, which is beyond Kakariko Village. There are several ways to get to Kakariko Village, but since I don't have the Master Sword, it sort of is reduced to a few methods. One of those methods being to fight King Bulblin. Oh god. Okay, so hold on. So this purple mist is a little bit finicky. This looks like I'm supposed to choke on the purple mist and die, but since they behave so strangely, I don't actually end up doing that, and you can kind of roll through the purple haze like so. It's really weird, but somehow it works. I get to roll through this cave. It's nice and dark.
Big fan of rolling.
Yeah, lots of rolling in this category. Link rolls so fast. You already know. Fortunately, instead of rolling all the way back, once I get here, I can actually save warp. I need to make a save anyway, so the save warp is a little bit faster. And from here, I did the trick earlier, back in time. This time I'm going to do back in time again, but instead of resetting during the boss fight, I'm actually just going to fight the boss. And when you beat the boss, so the boss that you can fight here during back in time is King Bulblin. And after you beat King Bulblin, he actually spawns you in Kakariko Village, which is pretty cool. That's exactly where I need to go. So the reason why I voided out at the Monkey Chain Bridge earlier is that if I didn't, Epona's speed value would not be reset properly here for this fight, so I would be fighting King Bulblin with... Sorry, not Epona. Nugs. I would be fighting with a very slow Nugs.
Thank you for correcting. Have to honor McNuggies. This King Bulblin got away a little bit, so... He's a Nug Rider too.
Alright, yeah, he's got a he's got a Nugs himself, yeah. Alright, so here is a little cool trick. Normally you're supposed to go to the other side of the bridge here. But I can actually turn around. Okay, never mind. Nugs got stuck, so she didn't actually move forward. Well, let me try that again.
Nugs showing some hesitation.
Yeah, she got stuck on the side, I think. Alright. Okay. Oops. Okay, well. Guess we're doing this the slow way. Okay, I got stuck, so I'm just gonna restart this fight, I guess. Oh, hopefully I don't game over. That could happen. Oh no, I got stuck! What are you doing?
Oh no,
okay.
Oh no, Nugs!
Alright, I'm just gonna... Okay, I'm gonna try it one more time. She got stuck again! Damn it! Alright, well, I guess I died.
F.
Press F to pay respects. Well. I don't know why Nugs kept getting stuck, but... Let's see if we can not have Nugs get stuck, please. Okay. Okay.
We'll miss you forever, Nug Rider.
Okay. I don't really know why Nugs kept on getting stuck, but damn it. How am I supposed to ride my Nug? She keeps getting stuck, dude.
That was basically first try.
Basically first try. No big deal. Didn't lose like 2 minutes or whatever. Definitely
First try
not.
on the second try.
Yeah, first try on the second try. Alright, so now I'm in Kakariko Village, but since I didn't clear Elden Twilight, it's in this weird Twilight state. So I'm gonna enter this door and then immediately exit because it will reload this area. And once this area has been reloaded, these Twilight messengers will spawn. Alright, really good fight. I don't have the Master Sword, so I actually have to beat them with 2 spin attacks or 2 jump attacks or whatever. It's pretty interesting. And from here, I'm gonna Uku back.
Spin attacks are impossible, by the way.
Yeah, when I first learned Twilight Princess, I could not do quick spin attacks for the life of me. But after playing the game for so long, you sort of get better at them. Kind of. Not really. Sometimes they still don't work. And I'm gonna immediately warp out again. Because I don't want to complete Forest Temple right now. Just gonna move on forward. And I'm going to be doing a trick called Farron Escape. So normally you can't leave Farron until you clear the Forest Temple, but since I haven't cleared the Forest Temple, I need to escape it. Hence, Farron Escape. Very creative name. And since I do not have the Master Sword, I cannot warp. And because I cannot warp, I have to roll all the way back to the spot where I would do Farron Escape. So once again, lots of rolling through Farron Woods. And once again through my favorite S-shaped dark maze. Little nifty thing. If you equip an item over the lantern, Link will sort of put it away during a loading zone transition, which is pretty neat. So you can put away the lantern without losing speed that way. It's little things. Alright, so now I'm over here, and so there is a trigger here where Midna says that I am not allowed to leave until I clear the Forest Temple. So here you're going to see the first instance of Boomerang LJAs, also known as Boomerang Long Jump Attacks. And using the Boomerang, I can actually jump over... Oh, never mind. I guess I'm not jumping over it. Well, that's the Midna trigger. Now you get to see what it is, and it forces you back this way. But using the Boomerang, I can actually jump over this Midna trigger. See if I can get it this time. Oops. Oh, guess not. Yeah, so this trick is actually one of the most precise tricks. For some reason. It's really tight. It's a lot easier to do it when you can transform to Wolf Link because there's actually a setup. But once again, I can't transform to Wolf Link, so I'll have to kind of inch my way forward and try to get into the perfect spot to do this trick. Okay, this looks good. Okay, there we go.
Nice. So how exactly do long jump attacks work with the Boomerang?
Okay, so how a long jump attack works in the first place is when you're targeting an enemy and the enemy is sort of far away, the game is programmed to basically give you additional height and speed in order to hit an enemy that is kind of far away. So you kind of saw this at the beginning of the game when I did Sword and Shield skip. I knocked the Boblin into the air and then perform the jump attack. And that jump attack is actually a long jump attack, an LJA. And the additional speed and height allowed me to get over the minute trigger. So with the boomerang, you sort of do a similar thing, and you trick the game. The game for some reason thinks that the boomerang is an enemy. Oh, okay. Well, guess I was seeing the mailman. I tried to do a boomerang LJA there to jump over the mailman trigger, but it's kind of tricky to do. But in any event, if you throw the boomerang higher than you, out of bounds, over a void, for some reason the game thinks that the boomerang is an enemy, so that when you perform a jump attack, you sort of get all this additional heightened speed. It's like really weird how it works. But yeah, because of that, you can really abuse it to get to a lot of areas. Now, failing that mailman skip is no big deal. I just get some mail, and well, just a little bit of text. Alright, so now I am in Elden Twilight. So the really cool thing about this category is that you balance the things that you can and can't do as human and wolf. Because in most categories you just have the Master Sword, so you can just transform between human and wolf to your will. But in this category you can't, and you have to transform to wolf and human using the intended methods, and then do as much as you can otherwise. So I come up here to get this portal. There's a cutscene here which forces me to warp out of this area. And the reason why I went through all of the shenanigans earlier to get to Kakariko Village earlier is so that when I warp away here, this is a forced warp, I can immediately just warp straight back to Kakariko Village. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And this allows me to progress to the next part of the game. Being in Kakariko Village as a wolf, which is what I needed to be. I was human before, but now I am a wolf. Alright. So now I'm just gonna clear Kakariko Village. Or, sorry, Elden Twilight. As normal. And Elden Twilight needs to be cleared in order for me to obtain access to Goron Mines, which is one of the required dungeons in All Fused Shadows. Unfortunately, I have to go through Elden Twilight the intended way because I can't transform to human to skip areas. It's a common theme in this run, the inability to transform between human and wolf. So, I'm gonna be lighting some torches here to open the secret entrance to the lower area. If I were able to transform to human, I would actually be able to side hop as human Link in order to clip into the basement here, but otherwise I have to just go down and light these torches as normal and go through the intended way. So you can see how long I have to wait for the tears to sort of fly down before I can pick them up. And that's the reason why I skipped all the tears in Fair and Twilight and got them later. You actually have to wait quite a bit of time before you can obtain the tears. So here's a cool little trick. Normally you have to climb up all the way to the top of this area, but you can bonk onto this wall and cause the bug to come down to you, like so. Neat little time saver. Doesn't save as much time as you would think, but, you know, every second counts. Now I'm going to be entering the hotel. Bugs in the hotel, dude. Not a hotel you actually want to go to. And in the fireplace. Like, what the heck?
Man.
So again, I'm not going to collect the tier for that bug because I have to backtrack through there, so I can pick it up when it's faster. Oh man. RNG bug in the bedroom. Okay, got it.
I know that feel.
You ever get to a situation where, like, you're in the middle of a hot speed run and there's, like, a fruit fly or something in your room?
Dude,
Like,
I've had
keeps
cockroaches,
freaking
so...
flying back and forth across your, like, PC monitor, and you're like, man, I'm in the middle of a speedrun, I can't kill this bug.
Yeah, flies really suck. I've had, like, a caterpillar out of nowhere just crawling on my TV mid...
What the heck?
Yeah, I have
Why?
no idea. I live in the jungle, apparently.
I've had a fruit fly, like, crawling across my monitor when, like, doing runs before. Awkward.
Do you, like,
Bugs.
continue playing while, like, reaching for a napkin? Or...
Yeah, I mean, kind of try to shoo it away. Oh, I got bonked. If you hit this cabinet in the right angle, this bug falls to the ground. If you don't, it falls up top here. You want it to be on the ground so you can jump attack it right away. So, this bug coming up here, which I'm going to be chasing. It's actually possible to kill it before it enters this house, if you can transform into human, or with a really precise set of wolf jumps. Unfortunately, the wolf jumps are so stupidly precise that I'm not even going to try for it. So I'm just going to enter this house and burn it down like a bad boy so I can get these bugs. If you do manage to kill the bug before it enters the house just disappears because it assumes that you've already burned it down. It just like pops out of its existence and you pick up the tears.
Classic Nug Rider, man.
Yeah, Nug Rider is bad to the bone, dude. He blows up
blazing
houses.
it up.
Yeah. Seriously. I'm picking up debris. Nice. Yeah, it's a reasonable reaction. Burn down your house when you find bugs in it. Oh man. I tried side hopping into this rupee. If you side hop at just the right way, you can actually skip that rupee text where it says, you just obtained 5 rupees. So the rupee text actually reappears for all rupees 5 or higher every time you save warp. Funny enough. Oh, okay, that was awkward. In
You know what sucks about...
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go on.
No, I was just gonna say in TPHD they fixed this so that it's only the first time you obtained it on the file ever, instead of every time you save warp. Oops.
I was just gonna say, you know what really sucks about bugs? Walking into a spider web.
Oh man, I've actually done that a few times.
Yeah, same.
Most of the time it's cobwebs, but I can never be sure. You're never really sure.
It's the worst, man. It just sticks to you.
It's just, you know, you're just thinking about it. Was that a cobweb or an actual spider web?
Yeah, and is there an actual spider in there right now? Just like crawling through your hair.
Yeah, dude, you'll never know. It will just continue to bug you.
I just like start panicking, rolling on the ground. I set my house on fire.
This is fine.
I've actually had moments where I like watch something on my computer and then a spider right in front of me just like starts dangling down from a single strand of like spider web. It just like pops up right in front of me, floating midair.
That happened to me when I was in the middle of a speedrun, actually. Like
Dude,
a spider
so
like came down, like, and I was like, I need to get this. Reaching the end of Elden Twilight here. Just dashing around. I think Elden Twilight is one of the more fun Twilights to do. There's a lot of little movement things in it, which probably aren't as apparent if you're just watching. Oh no. Okay, I'm getting owned. That's fine. Oh, a cobweb? A cobweb is an abandoned spiderweb.
How do you know if it's abandoned though?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're never actually
you
sure.
Just never know. That spider might still be there.
Wait. I don't want to do that. I want to get on Epona. I almost warped back to Forest Temple for some reason, but then I realized that I need to beat Goron Mines before I do that. So I'm gonna go do that now. So I hop on my trusty steed, Nugs, and head up towards Goron Mines, which is at the top of Death Mountain.
I'm excited for Iron Boots action.
Yeah. So normally at this point in the game, you get owned by this Goron. This Goron just destroys you, and then you have to go get the Iron Boots, but because of Back in Time earlier, I was able to get Iron Boots like immediately, so now the Goron is going to get owned by me. Get owned, Goron. Nugrider is too powerful for these Gorons. And so from here on out, it's faster to actually just tank all of these Gorons. So now Nugrider is going to get owned by all these Gorons. Because it's faster to do so, instead of seeing the animation of throwing every Goron behind you. I'm just going to get wrecked by every single one.
Just don't game over.
Yeah. Yeah, Nugrider continues to be bad to the bone. And performing all these misdemeanors. Oops. Get up there. Oh, I got hit by Steam. Note to self. Link may be a punk, but he is not steampunk. Haha. Haha.
So Steam does no damage if it hits you?
It
just like knocks you around?
Yeah, it just knocks you around.
Nice game.
Ow. So you're gonna see me kind of... You're gonna see me doing nothing here, and the reason why is I have to wait for this giant-ass stone to fall from the sky. And it will always set your... Link's... it always sets Nugrider's position to here, so I have to wait for it. Now I'm gonna beat up some Gorons.
Is that big stone based on like a timer, or do you have to wait for like
It's a
X
timer.
number of rocks to fall? Okay.
It's a timer. Alright, so here I'm going to be performing a trick called early elevators, also known as early Ellies, much like Super Mario 64. Oh! I got owned by a Goron. Okay. Let's try that again. Oh god, okay, I didn't get one this time. Oh! I got punched in the face, dude. Alright, well, I guess I'm not doing early Ellie's because he punched me back inbounds, actually. So I'm just gonna climb this mountain normally. You can actually side hop through Steam instead of using Iron Boots. It's pretty funny. Alright, well. Fortunately, it doesn't actually save that much time to do early Ellie's. Yeah, fortunately Gorons can actually see you even when you're out of bounds, so I just got a little bit too close and I just got punched in the face. Unfortunate. So here's a little secret, which a lot of people don't know about. There are 3 yellow rupees over here, which is convenient because I need rupees to get the bomb bag later. Alright, so here is a very fun return of wrestling. I have to wrestle a Goron this time, and you can only wrestle Gorons if you have the Iron Boots. Otherwise, this Goron will destroy you. I actually don't know this guy's name because everyone just calls it the Goron Bow because you have to wrestle him. So I'm just gonna call him the Goron Bow, who I have to wrestle now in order to enter Death Mountain. Fortunately, unlike Bo, this guy always tries to attack you, so you can like sidestep and it almost always works. Gorons are aggressive, but you know, Nug Rider is stronger than any Goron. Let the young warrior pass. So normally, if you have the Master Sword at this point, you can't do this fight at all, and these Gorons will block your way, and you can never enter this dungeon. Hilariously enough. Alright, so here is the second dungeon of the game, which we are going to complete first. Goron Mines. Normally you have to turn off these flames by stepping on switches, but you can just deboost off of them and roll through with your iframes. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to use an LJ here to get across. Normally you have to go all the way around top and hit a few more switches to turn off more flames, but you know, LJs are powerful like that. And I'm going to enter the next room. There are a lot of cutscenes in this dungeon for some reason. So, almost every room I enter, I'm just going to be skipping cutscenes. And some cutscenes cannot be skipped. Can't skip. These platforms are really finicky. Taking a little bit of a safe side jump. Little side hops here, side jumps.
OS Komodo.
So you can actually roll in between the wall and the stone slab. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna bonk forever. I was gonna say, so you can actually roll between the stone slab here and the wall. And you can clip in between it and get past this. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's really finicky though, so it doesn't work all the time, which is really annoying.
Is it just like the angle of the analog stick, or?
Yeah, it's like the angle among a few things. It's like, I don't know. A lot of the clips in this game are like really precise, but like work within like a certain range, so it's kind of tricky sometimes. So you're gonna see the first instance of magnet walking, which there will be lots more of, because you can't really get around all the magnet walking.
This is why I'm here.
So in this dungeon, instead of getting a boss key, you actually get shards instead of the boss key. There are 3 shards. Much like everything else in this game, it only checks for the last item. So I only actually need to obtain the 3rd shard, but you can't leave this room until you talk to the Squirrel, who will automatically give you the 1st shard. So I will skip the 2nd shard, I will obtain the 1st and 3rd shard, and with the 3rd shard, that will allow me to enter the boss door. Yeah, you can do a little roll here to avoid walking on the side of the wall there. It's pretty cool. So here's another room that... Oh wait, never mind. I was bamboozled, because I keep thinking that every room has a cutscene, but that one doesn't. One of the few that doesn't. Alright, so here is the big magnetic ceiling. On the Wii version of the game, there is a glitch that allows you to walk at normal speed. This does not work on the GameCube version. I think like every single time I've speedrun this game and there's someone new watching me, they ask me why don't I do the glitch. It's because the glitch doesn't work. So, just gotta slowly stomp across the ceiling. In this section where there aren't walls around me, I can actually use my sword to sort of speed up my walking a little bit. Sword slashes are a little bit faster.
It barely looks faster.
Yeah, it's barely faster, yeah. And since I'm close to this wall, I don't want to swing my sword. I can show you. Actually, yeah, I can show you next to this wall here. Like, if you swing your sword, it'll just like bonk off of it like that. Which you don't want to do. I'm gonna be extra safe and go like super deep into this area so I don't fall down. Bit of extra marathon precaution. Because, you know, if I accidentally fall down there, that's like another like 2 minutes or something. It's a lot of just little intended stuff here. Walking around, activating switches to turn on magnets. Stomp. Okay. It's a little weird when you know where everything is. Like, a small key randomly in the water here. Like, who would have thought? Such a random location for a key. Normally you have to push this block out of the way. You can actually swim and clip through it without pushing the block out of the way. I think the most annoying part is like every time you turn on a new magnet, there's a cutscene of the magnet turning on. And I mean, you can skip the cutscene, but it's still kind of funny how it happens every single time. So normally I have to turn on this magnet in order to make it to this platform, but if I line up my jump just right, I can actually hit this with the sword slash, like so, and I can hit the switch instead of turning on another magnet and like walking slowly over there. Again, normally you have to walk all the way around this room in order to cut down this bridge up top, but I can use an LJ to just jump past this bridge.
Yo, threading the needle.
Yeah. Another room that has a cutscene when you enter it. This is the big room with a small key over here. All these goblin archers try to fire at me, but they have bad aim. And a cool guy like Nug Rider doesn't look at them. Doesn't give them a second glance. On the HD version, they actually buffed them. They can actually hit you in the HD version, which is really funny. So here is an LJA. This... Oh, no! I fell. Well, I'll try again. But so normally I have to go all the way around here and get the second key, but this LJA here allows me to skip getting the second key. Unfortunately, I fell down, so I have to roll back around again. I think I aimed my boomerang a little bit too far to the left there. There we go. So here is the mini-boss of the dungeon. Another Goron. This is where you really learn that Link does not like Gorons, dude. He has beaten up so many Gorons. Just another Goron added to his list of Gorons that he's beaten up. Ow, I wasn't close enough.
It's Bowser in the Fire Sea.
No, we just gotta toss off this Goron 3 times. It's a mini-boss. Nothing too special. Pretty straightforward. So now I can obtain the bow, and the bow is such an iconic weapon in the Zelda series. It's really funny that in Twilight Princess, the bow is completely skippable in any percent. Just thought that was a funny thing, because the bow is actually not needed anywhere. Pretty much anything you use the bow for, you can also do with either the boomerang, bombs, or claw shot, even the ball and chain.
And Zelda helps you out with her bow during the Ganondorf fight, right?
Yeah, she just spawns a magical light bow out of nowhere. Oh my gosh, my equips are all over the place. The only thing you actually need the bow for is to complete this dungeon. So you can kill Beamoses with the bow and arrow, and you also need it to beat the boss of this dungeon. And back behind this Beamos is the final Goron Elder, who will give me the 3rd key shard. And from here, I'll be able to enter the boss. So I'm gonna go straight to the boss now that I've obtained all 3 key shards and also the bow and arrow. And once again, I'm collecting money because in order to buy bombs, I need 120 rupees. So I'm actually 5 rupees short right now. So I'm just gonna open this chest in the... not this room, but the next room. So there's a little chest over here on the right that has a yellow rupee, so I'm just gonna pick that up. So I'll have enough rupees to buy the bomb bag after this dungeon. Oops. Oopsies. Nice. Okay. I was trying to do an LJ so I wouldn't land into the water, but I missed. LJ is like a little finicky for this one, but it's no big deal. Just gotta swim over instead. Alright, so here I'm going to be doing a trick called magnet skip. This trick skips turning on a magnet and using it, hence magnet skip. Unfortunately, when doing this trick, I need to kill these. Oh, whoops. I fell down. Kill these bulblins who get in my way. Oh my gosh. Oh! I slipped off the side. Yeah, so this trick is actually really precise. So hopefully it doesn't take me too long to try to get this. I won't try it too many times. If I keep failing it, then I'll just do it the intended way. Oops. So this min bubble is going to constantly be here because I don't actually have the Ordon Sword and Shield. The game just thinks I do, so Midna here is constantly telling me, you need the Ordon Sword and Shield, or you need a shield, otherwise you're gonna die from fire. Alright, and there you go, magnet skip.
Are you dropping a few frames, by the way?
I dropped 80 frames, which is 0.0% of the stream.
Huh, only 80 frames. Okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't think it's on my end. Maybe it is. If so, I apologize. Alright, so here I am entering the boss of Goron Mines. Fyrus, however you want to call it. Call his name.
Definitely Fyrus.
Yeah, he's a big fire dude. I think you're right. I will have to agree with you there. This boss is actually super easy. Pretty much a glorified auto-scroller.
Yeah, he's a really cool looking boss though. Too bad he's pathetic.
Yep. You can pretty much like just line up your arrow shot right away and then hit him before he can even do anything. So just like constantly falling down. And that's actually it. That's Fyrus, pretty much. Just pull him down 3 times and then just hit him with the good old ending blow. The ending blow is, again, not required on this boss. You're just allowed to do the ending blow on the final hit, but it's not required anyway. You can just hit him with a normal like attack and he'll die.
Top 10 anime deaths. It's like bleeding fire from his forehead.
And at this point in the game, you learn that the fused shadow was inside this beastie. And here's the first fused shadow shard. And all
Only took an hour and a half.
Yeah, this is like the longest fused shadow shard. All the other ones are like really fast by comparison. because you can go straight to them. It's the Goron Mines one that's really slow. And you also learn that Fyrus is actually just a Goron. So another Goron added to Link's defeated Goron count. Or Nug Rider's defeated Goron count, I should say. I'm gonna pick up this heart for safety. Totally not needed, but you know. Heart containers waste pretty much no time in this game compared to other games. Like, so other 3D Zeldas getting heart containers, the animation is quite long. This game, it's like super fast. Alright. So now I have enough rupees. I've completed Goron Mines. Now I am going to go and get the bombs, which I can now purchase in the store. You can purchase bombs in the store after completing Goron Mines. So that is what I will do. And they cost 120 rupees, as I mentioned before. Alright, now that I have the bomb bag and I have cleared Goron Mines, I'm gonna do what I've mentioned that I've been avoiding doing for a really long time, and it's finally to get the Master Sword. So, Goron Mines is quite literally the only reason why I couldn't get the Master Sword way back then. But now that I have beaten Goron Mines, I can safely go and get the Master Sword and there won't be any more conflicts. So, this Uku has been serving as a really nice teleportation device pretty much, because it has warped me all the way back to Forest Temple, and from here I can just roll over to where the Sacred Grove is and go get the Master Sword. So it's been a long time coming, but I can finally get the Master Sword at this point. And from this, and now that I can have the Master Sword, I will finally be able to warp using transformations between human and wolf. So, instead of using a super jump with Shadow Messenger Beasts, I have to use a Boomerang LJ combined with a bomb boost to get up top here. Oops. Like so. Gonna backflip over this tree trunk. Gonna do an LJ over to the opposite side. This is the side where Sacred Grove is, and then finally I'm going to do another LJ to get back to the Sacred Grove area, like so. Alright, so a bit of out of bounds, and a bit of bomb boosting shenanigans, and I'm back into Sacred Grove. So, I already beat Skull Kid before, so I can actually roll straight to where the Master Sword is. I actually did not solve the puzzle though, the puzzle that blocks access to the Master Sword, so I'm going to be performing a trick called Master Sword Puzzle Skip. And this is my favorite trick in the game. It is one of the largest out-of-bounds tricks in the game, and it's exclusive to this category. So it's going to be a lot of LJA shenanigans here. That's the hard part. Time for part 2 of the hard part, the harder part. So a really cool thing here is you can kind of position yourself and grab the side of this door frame for some reason. Oh, I slipped off. Okay. Okay, so now I'm out of bounds. So you can see on my left over here, that's where you solve the puzzle normally. I'm going to skip solving the puzzle by getting out of bounds over here on the side. Rolling around. And then finally, LJA over here. And now I can get the Master Sword. Also, you're normally supposed to get this as Wolf Link, so this cutscene is messed up, dude. Look at this sprite. Nug Rider, half human, half Link form. Very beautiful.
Oh man, Nug Rider. He's had too many nugs.
He's had too many nugs, dude.
Oh no.
When the nugs come back to bite you. Just want to say that a few days ago I actually went to McDonald's and had a couple of, I don't know if you know, but McDonald's just has this new sort of like chicken select tender things.
Yeah.
Whatever they are, they're not nuggets. They're like chicken fingers of
They're
sorts.
like chicken strips?
Yeah,
or...
chicken strips.
Yeah.
So then I had some of them, and I'm like, man, these are just not as good as their nuggets. I prefer the nuggets myself. So then I asked the people with a poll whether they liked nuggets or tenders more, and tenders were behind for the majority of the poll, but they finally came back at the very end, and they won. So shout outs to Nuggets and Nug Rider and McNuggies420. Alright, so now that I have the Master Sword, once again, I'm going to Uku back into Forest Temple. Now I can finally clear the Forest Temple.
I have to say, I think I prefer tenders overall.
Really?
Yeah, I do like nuggets, though. They're both good.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, so now I'm finally gonna clear this dungeon, which I've been putting off for so long. Normally I have to go save a bunch of monkeys, but because I have the boomerang, I don't need to save any monkeys. I have the power of boomerang LJAs. And that's basically what I'm gonna do here. Just gonna jump across here. Hello, monkeys. So that skips saving all of the monkeys in the dungeon, pretty much. And now I can finally enter and complete the Forest Temple boss. This boss is really straightforward. So, you must be wondering why I put off clearing this dungeon for so long. And the reason why is that I wanted to get the bow and arrow and the bombs. Normally, when you fight Diababa, the boss here, this second phase here, you have to wait for Ook, the monkey mini-boss of the game, to swing across and give you some bomb wings that you can sort of boomerang at this boss. But since I have the bow and arrow and bombs, I can literally just shoot bomb arrows at it instead of waiting for the monkey. And just like that, Diababa is done. No more evil plants to terrorize the monkeys of Farron.
Helping the monkeys but killing the Gorons.
Yeah, helping the monkeys kill the Gorons. You know, save the animals.
Yeah.
Gorons are not animals, so we don't care about them. Yeah. Just slightly faster than clearing Goron mines, which took like an hour. Only took under 10 minutes to complete this, pretty much. All right. Now I have the ability to become a wolf, like the animal I am. Nug Rider. Man and beast. So I can actually go straight to Linear Twilight now. The final dungeon. Fortunately, traveling across Hyrule Fields as Wolf Link is way faster than rolling across Hyrule Fields. And from this point on, no more lengthy rolling sections. We are now a wolf. So here's a cool trick. You can actually clip through this gate with a somewhat precise setup. Oops. Grab that. Just side hop right through the gate. Pretty cool. Saves a surprisingly large amount of time, just because of a sequence break it is, like going through this area backwards.
Now we have a green screen.
Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna do a trick called Pillar Clip in order to get myself into this dungeon. It's quite precise. So I'm gonna try to focus a little bit, but you get to see this trick. Hopefully I don't fail it and drown. Oh, I failed it and drowned. Well, so much for that. I like completely missed the pillar. Completely. I was like way off, interestingly enough. Well, that's okay. Didn't even get a shot, dude. Yeah, I want to get on the left side of that pillar and then clip out of bounds. But somehow I ended up on the right side of the pillar, which is way off from where I want it to be. I guess I must have looked at the wrong visual cue or something. No big deal. Just gotta go for the backup. Soggy nugs, dude. No one likes to see that. Hate to see it happen.
That Filio when you microwave leftover.
Bad feel, dude. Oh, that might have been too early. We'll see. Come on. Ah, yeah, I mistimed that. So it's a pretty small frame window to get through this pillar. Unfortunately, I missed it, so I'll have to try again. Sad times, dude.
We're just gonna see Nug Rider drown over. It's a sad animation.
Drowning Link, or drowning Nug Rider. If only his trusty steed, Nugs, was here. Could help out.
Nugs would just drown too, I'm pretty sure.
Horses can swim. Alright. Don't want to go too early. Like last time. Oh my goodness. Alright, well. I was so worried about going too early that I'm going too late now. Rip.
This is a trap, man.
Tragedy.
This is when you start sucking yourself out.
Yeah. Unfortunate. I did practice this before this run. Hate to see it happen, but it happens. It's a pretty precise trick, so I'm not too surprised.
Yeah, and I mean, it's extremely punishing, so mess up one small thing and the game just kills you.
Yeah, unfortunately, you need all your oxygen meter for this trick, so as soon as I miss it, I can't retry it. I have to actually drown so I can get back to the surface and do it again. This is like another minute time loss or so. Okay, this looks good. Okay.
Nice, we in there.
Okay, barely made it. That oxygen. Alright, cool. So this save warp that I do here actually puts me all the way past this whole water swimming section. And normally the save warp doesn't do this unless you have the Master Sword. So that's the reason why I actually have to get the Master Sword. One of the reasons.
Yo, that slug like jumped through the hoop.
Yeah. Got a little circus act for ya. Alright. So from here, I just need to get the claw shot, and then I can beat up the boss. Normally you're supposed to knock down these stalactites, but since I have the boomerang, I can just... Whoops. Oh, ow. I knew it. Oh my gosh. Is that gonna hit me? Okay, it's not gonna hit me. So I need water bombs in order to perform a glitch later, which is why I'm gonna just throw all my normal bombs into the waterfall here. And fortunately, right next to the waterfall is a chest that happens to contain water bombs. Hooray. Whoops. So here is a precise double LJA. It's pretty self-explanatory, but it looks really cool. Nice. I'm just gonna open that bridge for later. Another set of double LJs here to get across instead of getting the platforms to spin. So LJA to get sort of out of bounds, or not out of bounds, sorry, over a sort of fence. And I can just swim through here. So one thing you are going to notice is I don't have the Zora armor. And getting the Zora armor was actually really slow, which is why it's skipped. Our good friend Deku Toad, OS Frog, is on the ceiling. And just like that, OS Frog is gone. Deku Toad has been defeated. And I can obtain the Claw Shot, the final item I need to complete the dungeon. More fuel. Oops, didn't mean to open that. You can actually kill that Deku Toad with more bombs instead of doing all the sword slashes like I did, but I want to conserve my bombs for this boss fight, just a little safety precaution. The sword swings are sort of pretty tight. You have to do 10 sword swings within a certain frame window. So I'm actually going to go straight to Morpheal right now. So a really cool thing is that this is the only dungeon in TP where you don't actually have to get the boss key. There is a trick in order to skip getting the boss key. So I'm just going to go straight to the main area and then immediately get the boss key. Immediately go to the boss. If you try to roll up these stairs, you actually bonk for some reason. So, can't roll up. Series of somewhat precise movements here.
Nice.
So that's bridge clip, and that is how you skip getting the boss key. And so now we're in Morpheal's room. Alright, so this is it.
That Morpheal when.
That Morpheal when, dude. So as soon as I beat this boss, it will be the third and final fused shadow piece, which will complete the run. So I don't have the Zora armor, so I have to beat this boss without losing before I run out of oxygen. So I'm doing a little glitch here where I pull out a water bomb and unequip iron boots during the pullout animation of the water bomb. So now you can see Link is sort of floating with the water bomb here. And during this cutscene, Link actually slowly just floats upwards because I don't have iron boots on. So there's a really weird glitch. This is called swimming with water bombs, and when you swim with water bombs and you let go of your water bomb, the game thinks you're on the ground for some reason, and it completely refills your oxygen meter. Like you'll see right here, my oxygen has been completely refilled now. So that's the reason why I can skip getting the Zora armor. Ooh, this is really tight. We're good. I did a little safety bomb there.
It's a really scary fight.
Yeah. And I can do a re-grab on the final part of Morpheal and beat her before my oxygen meter runs out, like so.
Nice.
So a bit of water bomb refilling your oxygen meter glitching to beat Morpheal without the Zora armor. And this is actually done in any percent in all dungeons. Most categories actually do this, except for like 100% and no save and quit, which can't. A little bit of bad RNG in the fight, but went pretty well. And timing ends as soon as I say yes to warping out of like that temple. So I'm gonna straight to Midna, and she's gonna ask me if I want to warp out, and I say yes, and that's when timing ends. So just after this cutscene. The final fused shadow piece, as you can see. In any percent, you actually only obtain the third fused shadow piece from Lakebed Temple. The game only checks for the third piece, and it assumes you have all three pieces once it sees the third piece. So, good programming doesn't check a lot of things. Alright, and that is time.
GG.
GG.
Sick run. Nothing like some comfy, cozy Twilight Princess.
Yeah. Little thing right here. I think this cutscene is broken. Let me see. Because I'm human, I think. No, you just get transformed into a wolf. I thought it was gonna be like the Master Sword cutscene where you're like, oh yeah, you are. Look, Link is Nug Rider's half human, half wolf again. Because this cutscene's broken because I have the Master Sword.
Oh god.
And there you have it.
Bodies. He's so messed up.
It's Twilight Princess, all fused shadows.
Oh no. Just levitating there, all contorted.
Alright, so I think coming up after this is, I think, the last run of the marathon, which is DQ3.
Yeah, so we've got 2 games left, 1 speed run, 1 finale
right, yeah.
special. Yeah. So the final game coming up here is, of course, it wouldn't make sense to do anything else. It is Dragon Quest III. And we have a race this time. I think this is the first time we've ever done a race of DQ3.
Oh,
if
nice.
I'm not mistaken. So we have a Dragon Quest III race coming up, and then we will finish off with either Mario Party 2 or 3.
Alright.
But once again, thanks for the run, and for being involved all weekend again.
Thank you for having me, as always. It's always an enjoyable time to be here on JRTA. Look forward to seeing those Japanese runners at AGDQ. And I will be signing off now.
All right, sounds good. Everybody, stick around, and we will set up for the next game.